Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. You have a set of fights coming up where you have live underdogs. In some cases, big live underdogs, right? I believe Andy Ruiz, quite frankly, is underrated by the casinos in his matchup against Joseph Parker. Andy Ruiz's promoter, Bob Arum, claims that Andy has the fastest hands in the heavyweight division since Ali. Track my Andy Ruiz videos here online. You're going to see that for years I've been talking about Andy Ruiz's hand speed. Folks, the hand speed is special. Now, I'll agree there's a size gap in that fight. Joseph Parker is bigger. I'll agree the fight's in New Zealand. Joseph Parker might have the crowd on his side, right? It's in Joseph Parker's backyard. I'll agree with all of that. But understand, hand speed is a very hard thing to contain, right? If Andy Ruiz gets going and starts landing the early part of a combination, right? Ruiz doesn't just have fast hands, folks. He's a combination puncher. Joseph Parker might find himself in with a dynamic he hasn't experienced as a professional. I do understand that the guys have sparred. Well, there's another live underdog. I believe it's on the same card, right? And that's Ali Funeka, a South African fighter, right? This guy has excellent lateral movement. He pivots. You jump in on him, he's the kind of guy who can turn to the side, right? He has that kind of timing and patience. And he is what I call slick. In other words, he's that fighter who, you jump in the pocket on him and he's still hard to find. And keep in mind, Funeka is a 6'1" welterweight. I know he has a long upper body, but he knows how to bend, he knows how to move, he knows how to turn his shoulders. Watch his shoulders when he fights, right? And he's a guy who, it's almost like a magician. It's hard to find. He's a matador, right? You jump in, suddenly he's over here. And he's throwing punches. You turn over here, suddenly he's back here. Right? Now, somehow, the odds makers are making Funeka, who is on the road, right? Jeff Horn, I believe, is Australian. This fight is in New Zealand. I understand Australia and New Zealand, that's oil and water. I get it. But let's just say that Ali Funeka is going to be further away from home than Jeff Horn will be, right? Well, Jeff Horn is one of these young guys who, is a bit of an ambush fighter, right? He's outside. Then he jumps inside. Then he's throwing power shots and he hits hard, right? One of the concerns Funeka has is that Jeff Horn is an excellent body puncher, and as I've mentioned, Ali Funeka is 6'1" and has a lot of upper body, right? When you have a lot of body to protect, it's hard against a guy as sudden as Jeff Horn is, and Jeff Horn is sudden, right? He's outside. Here he is up on you. Then, of course, just as you start to defend yourself, he's back outside. But let's just say Jeff Horn shouldn't be the huge favorite that he is in this fight. You're going to give me 6-1 on Ali Funeka? Sign me up. Sign me up. The bet I'm recommending here is because of the odds. It's an odds play. I like the underdog, Ali Funeka, to win the fight. Right? You're getting better than 6-1 odds, folks. And you can hedge the play with Jeff Horn by KO. But understand the risk involved, and it's huge. Right? Jeff Horn's a popular, unbeaten fighter. It means that if Jeff is standing at the end of the fight and wins a decision, you lose it all. I'll concede between these two fighters, Jeff Horn has the bigger punch. It's just that I can't pass up. In a fight I consider close, right? If I were to make the odds on this fight, let's say Jeff would be maybe a minus 125 favorite, right? Close fight, and you're going to give me 6-1 odds on Ali Funeka? I can't pass that up, right? Especially given the fact that Jeff's going to jump in, and he's going to have a hard time finding this guy. Now, I know Funeka got stopped a few fights ago by, let me try the name here, Hedzi. Now, I have placed a video of portions of that fight in my favorites folder. You know what? That fight was a fight where Funeka got caught early, lost his equilibrium, and never got it back. That fight wasn't a systematic beatdown. Think Vitaly against Shannon Briggs, right? That fight wasn't a systematic beatdown where, you know, one guy technique-wise was just better than the other guy and leveraged that every round. No, this was different. This was the, you get hit on the temple, you lose your balance, your knees aren't cooperating, your legs are never the same, the other guy knocks you down a few times. You're trying to clear your head. This happens to fighters, right? You lose your balance, you know you're better than the other guy. You try to clear your head, and while you're trying to do that, the other guy is knocking you down multiple times. What I want to say about Funeka is he's better than advertised. I think he's better than the guy who stopped him in the 5th round 4 fights ago. Right? I think he's better than his record. I saw him beat Johan Guzman. He clearly won the fight. One judge had him winning that fight by 4 rounds in a 12-round fight. The other 2 judges had it a draw. The draw was a travesty. Quite frankly, I thought he gave Nate Campbell all he could handle. Officially, that fight went in the books as a majority decision, right? Let's just say that some of Ali Funeka's losses seem a bit curious to me and are razor close losses that could have gone either way, right? And really should have gone to him. So I've long viewed Ali Funeka as an underrated fighter, and here he's fighting a young guy who isn't as good in the pocket as he is. And somehow the casinos are giving you 6-1 odds. I like Ali Funeka to win the fight, hedged with Jeff Horn by KO. I'll agree, there is a chance that Jeff Horn gets in and, you know, throws some hard punches and chops down the tree. If he does that, great. As long as it's by stoppage, I'll be in line after the fight laughing to myself thinking, man, I didn't expect that, while I'm making a small profit off the casino. Right? Let me also make another point too. This fight's only a 10-round fight. 10 rounds. Funeka, because of his unique height, 6'1", weighing 147 pounds, and because of his slickness, right? You come in, he's turning, he has hands up, he's hard to find. It takes a few rounds to figure him out. In my opinion, the shorter distance helps him because he's the harder fighter to figure out, as opposed to Jeff Horn, who's an ambush guy. I'll agree that Funeka doesn't have the foot speed to follow an ambush fighter after the ambush, right? I'll agree with that. But let's just say he certainly has the lateral movement to pivot and confuse Jeff Horn as he jumps deep in the pocket, right? I think you're going to see that Funeka, who's in his mid-30s, is still a slick boxer. I like the dog here, the underdog. Funeka, simply to win at 6-1 odds, hedged with Jeff Horn by KO. Understand, when you're getting 6-1 odds on one part of the bet, you can structure the hedge so you win if either happens. But understand the risk involved, as I said earlier. If Jeff Horn wins by decision, you lose it all. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section to this video. Thanks for stopping by.